Welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be heading to New York City to see a bunch of apartments. I am hopefully moving back soon. So this came about because a lot of apartments are now having really good deals because of COVID-19, and so I thought, I might as well try and beat the rush, and the rush of people who are trying to also beat the rush, and go look at a couple apartments back in New York. So this was actually yesterday. I took a drive to New York and back in one day. It was 8 hours of driving. It was a lot, but I saw a lot of apartments, and I am going to talk through each one of them and show you videos of them and tell you the pros and cons. And I haven't made a decision yet of which one I'm going to take, so maybe all of you can help me decide. So apartment number 1. That one was in Dumbo, Brooklyn. All of these apartments are actually in Brooklyn, and it was beautiful. It was a studio. It has a really large kitchen for a studio, but it's on a very, very, very popular street in Brooklyn, and when I walked outside, it was just so touristy. Like, tourists everywhere. I would say 50% of people not even wearing masks. It was just a lot to handle. So for me, this apartment is not the one. A second studio in that building, which is apartment number 2, and that is much smaller, and I wasn't a huge fan of it. That one I also decided to pass on. We saw a third one in that building, and that one had a Juliet balcony, and wow. So the balcony was beautiful, but again, the apartment was not in a location I was really feeling, and I also I personally didn't feel like I needed a teeny tiny balcony. I mean, some people may. I don't think I need one. So I decided that one I was also going to pass on, but I really appreciate seeing them, and the area is beautiful. It's great to visit, but I don't want to live in a tourist destination personally. So the next apartment we saw was back in Cobble Hill. So I lived in Cobble Hill, Brooklyn before, I absolutely love the neighborhood. It's very family oriented. It's all babies and puppies, and it just, like, to me, it's very much home. And so my dad actually came with me to see all these apartments, and when we drove back into Cobble Hill, we both looked at each other like, we're home. Like, this is where we want my apartment to be. So we saw the first one, and it was a studio, a little small, but in a really beautiful building. It's a luxury building in Cobble Hill, which is really rare to find. A lot of these buildings in Cobble Hill are much older. They're walk-ups. They're beautiful in character, but not gonna have a gym or laundry or things like that. So this building has a gym, laundry, and a rooftop deck that overlooks the water, Lower Manhattan, and the Statue of Liberty. So definitely views to, like, just make you want to move there immediately. And so the studio was beautiful. I am considering this studio. I loved this building. This was, I think, my favorite building. The thing is, I'm not sure that the studio is big enough. I don't have much furniture. I have a couch, a bed, a coffee table, a TV stand, and a TV. That's it. And a dresser, but the dresser can go in a closet. So not that much stuff, but still it is something that I have to consider. Is all my furniture gonna fit? I'm not gonna get a dining room table, so maybe things will fit, but you know, have to think about that. And so this apartment, it's beautiful, great. It's on the list as a maybe. The next one we saw in this building is my top contender. It is also the most expensive of them all, and I would have to do a lot of negotiating to get into the price range that I want to get into. So it is a 1-bedroom, which is huge. I never thought I could get a 1-bedroom, and I'm in love with it. It's a small kitchen that, pause. Could you wait? Thank you. Filming with a cat. It's a 1-bedroom. It's a small kitchen, like I just said, but with all the other space, like, I can manage cooking in a small kitchen. I'll be fine. So it was beautiful. I'm definitely gonna have to do some negotiations, but I am gonna try and negotiate that one down. Was also in Cobble Hill. It was a 4th or 5th floor walk-up. I did not expect that. It was a 5th floor walk-up, which I was not expecting. And the apartment was nice. No laundry in the building, nothing like that. No bells or whistles, which is fine because it's in an older building. It's like got character. It's, you know, that's beautiful. And it's on a gorgeous tree-lined street. However, the agent I met with was so unfriendly and super rude, in my opinion, that, like, I'm not interested in it. He deterred me from the whole apartment. So the apartment has a beautifully big kitchen, brand new, like, her marble tiled bathroom with the glass shower, which I love a glass shower. I much prefer a glass shower to a bathtub. I don't take baths, but you know, it's fine. However, the layout, there's like a window, so I would have to block the window with the TV stand and the couch, and like the layout would be very, very strange in this space. So I was a little bit like in my head. I know it's a simple thing, like laying out an apartment, especially a studio. However, for me, it is a real concern that like my items aren't gonna fit in there, or it's gonna look really awful and it's not gonna feel like a space that I can enjoy, because there's a high likelihood I'm gonna be quarantining here. There's, you know, from what I'm hearing on the news, and not to get too much into it, but there may very well be a second wave of coronavirus. And so I am preparing to quarantine for like the whole winter. And so with that in mind, I have to find a space that I love and that I'm comfortable quarantining in. So that one I think is off the table. It is the cheapest of them all. So that is like really, really hard to let go of. But I think the best thing for me is to let go of that one. It just like, I wasn't impressed. The walk up really does affect me. I have a bad knee, so it is a challenge to get up that many flights of stairs every single day. And there wasn't a lot of light in the building. It was facing 2 brick walls. So I am someone who really does need sunlight, so it's something to consider. To that other building, the one that I love. The biggest downfall of that building, there is construction, which stinks. So not sure what to do about that, but I think that may be a negotiating way of like, there's construction, I'm gonna be working from home, you know, lower your price. So we'll see about that. And then the next one that I saw was in a beautifully, very large luxury building in Cobble Hill as well. I saw 2 units in this building, 2 different studios. One is an ALCOVE studio and the other is a regular studio. So the ALCOVE studio, I loved it. Again, smaller kitchen, that's fine. However, beautiful space. I love the separation of the bed area and the living area. It definitely makes laying out the space very, very straightforward. Beautiful bathroom, tons of closet space. I could definitely see myself living there. They don't have a gym. They do give you a membership to the Y, but I prefer one in building if I'm gonna pay the luxury unit price. So that's just something to consider. It's also in a bit of a busier area. But again, I think that'd be fine. I think I would, you know, manage, but it's also something to consider. In that building was another studio, and this one had a Juliet balcony, as we have talked about before. I personally do not feel the need to get a balcony, but maybe, I don't know. So it was beautiful. It did face over like a courtyard area, which for me, I was a little bit like, well, what if people are like, I don't really want that noise, but you know, it's nice to have that open space to hang out. The great thing about this whole building is it has laundry on every floor. That's insane. I only have to walk down the hallway. Wow. So that's a big selling point. But I can take an elevator downstairs and do laundry. It's not a big deal to me. So I have a lot of thinking to do. Grateful that I'm in a position where I can live in New York and that I get to look at these beautiful apartments and consider which one do I want to be my home for the next year and maybe longer. We'll see if I renew, we'll see if I love it, we'll see where I am in a year. But it's really exciting for me and I can't wait to take you guys along. So I promise I'll update you when I pick an apartment, when I do an empty apartment tour, when I move into the apartment, do a decorated apartment tour. I'll take you along the whole way. So thank you so much for joining today. I know this was a lengthier video. Hopefully you're still around. And I will see you next time. Bye!